So a DJ friend of mine told me about a DJ who got COVID, couldn't find a replacement, and was thinking about doing the event anyway. Hi, I'm Bill. This is Creative License. Thanks for watching, and thanks for being so kind to my sponsors, the greatest speaker company in the world. You know it, Electro Voice, the greatest music promotional company and the best music provider out there is Promo Only. Be sure to take care of them. DJ Event Planner is a great DJ CRM for your DJ business, and of course DJ NTV. You want to learn some about this business? Go there. You can find hundreds of videos to help you, including mine. Oh, plus I've got a workshop. I'll tell you about it sometime if you want to know. So, it's a really good question, isn't it? And an interesting thing to think about. Let me repeat it. The DJ has COVID. The DJ tried to get it covered. He called around. He found a friend of his who couldn't do it. His friend helped him to look. He couldn't do it. They couldn't find anybody. They're having a tough time. It's a week out. And he can't do it because he's sick. So now what does he do? He thinks maybe he can wear a mask, stay away from people, not and do his job. But if he wears a mask, he's not getting anybody sick, right? He's got a mask. Is it okay? That's a real tough one. I say it's not okay. Because you wouldn't necessarily want a friend of yours coming to your home who is sick with even the flu with a mask. Just because he said he'd be there, you would want him not to come. You'd probably think he was irresponsible if he came, didn't tell you, even if you wore a mask and then someone got sick, and then you'd be mad at that person, right? So now, is it more responsible if he goes and he tells the bride and groom that he's coming, but he's sick with COVID, and he can be there and he will be there, and he's going to wear a mask, and they say that's okay? Is he getting away with something? Well, I guess he has shown his responsibility to his client, but if his client doesn't make it clear to all of the guests that the DJ has COVID and the DJ is going to be at the event playing songs and wearing a mask, I don't know that that's responsible enough. I wouldn't be happy with the DJ or with the friend of mine whose wedding I'm going to if I found out later that I was at a party with a vendor with COVID and I wasn't told by my client, by my friend. I mean, that seems pretty bad. And I don't think that you could make a case that if you told your client, their parents, the venue you're at, because the venue needs to know. I mean, their employees need to know that if you're going to be there, you have COVID. Their wait staff, their management, anyone who's going to be coming to the facility the next day if they haven't cleaned it up. Every human being that's going to be at that event needs to they need to check off on the idea that you're going to be there. They all need to say, oh yeah, no big deal. Yeah, he has COVID. Wear a mask. Come on to the thing. Do the event. I find it difficult to believe that every last person's not going to have a problem with that. And I don't think this is the majority rules thing. You wouldn't think of it as a more majority rules thing if the venue had had someone who was a server who had COVID. Okay, or they had a management person who had COVID. They're not going to really be there. They're going to be away from the client. They're not going to touch the food. They're not going to touch any of the glassware, but they're going to be there, but they'll wear a mask. Would that be okay with you? Would you not have a problem with that? Or if you got COVID afterwards, would then there be a problem? One person comes away from that party getting sick, there's a problem with what you did. So your responsibility is to keep something that'll spread away from people. I had kids when they were little, and if they came down with a fever, they weren't allowed to come to school, right? And if one kid went to school because the parent went, well, I got things to do and I got to do with stuff. Drop the kid off. How bad could it be? And then my kid gets the flu and is out of school for 6 weeks or for a week or even a couple of days. I'm upset with that person who wasn't responsible enough to keep their child while they were contagious at home. This is a tricky little subject, I know, but I think I've answered your question. When it comes down to how you're going to choose, I'd like to know if you went and did it, what might have happened. I hope you didn't. I hope you did the responsible thing for every last person, not the majority, but every last person. I'm Bill. This is Creative License, and I'll see you next time.